Hi everybody, welcome back to Thrifty Country Life. This is Connie. Today I am doing a little bit of work outside. I have been itching to get outside and just do something. I'm so tired of getting indoor projects done, even though they need to be done. I just had to get outside and take care of some of these leaves. They're absolutely driving me crazy. Even though it was only about 50 degrees this morning, we did have a little bit of sun this morning, but we have some rain coming in this afternoon, and we have some snow showers next week, and I figured, let's do this while I can. So I at least wanted to get these leaves done around the front door so they didn't blow into my house or drag them in every time we go through the door. So we're going to just kind of clean up a little bit around the house, around the yard, and I'm also going to take you on a tour of my yard. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you stay tuned. If you have something to do, go ahead and get up and do it. Let's get this stuff done together. Enjoy! Alright, guys, much better. That way I don't have to be tracking in leaves every time I go into the house. It's not perfect, but I'm hurry up and trying to get this done before it starts raining. And just for reference, I put the leaves out front over towards that way. Hopefully they don't blow back. So I think they'll be okay, because most of our cold weather is coming from the north, which is that direction. So as long as they don't blow back before we get to getting them picked up, they'll be fine. But I think while I'm out here, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some of these leaves up out over here. And because I have some flowers coming up, and I wanna see what kind of flowers are coming up. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, this has proven to be very difficult because everything is still wet and some of the leaves are frozen to the ground. So I did get a good chunk. My husband has to move that deer over there. That was his dad's, and we inherited it after he passed away. So he needs to find a better spot for it. But I did get a pretty good chunk. I have a lot. So many leaves, guys. And I just kind of put them out there and behind the garage. I think what I'm going to do is focus on the patio and get these leaves off. But like I said, we are pointing north now. And this was probably a waste of time to do these leaves because they'll probably just blow back. So I'm trying my best to get them away behind the garage so they don't blow back as much. So I'm going to keep going and see what happens. See something funny? The whole bottom of this pot broke. Oh my goodness. That's funny. I'll take care of that later. I got rid of that rug, so I'm gonna blow that real quick. Such a mess, guys. Winter is such a mess. And we didn't get a chance to clean last year. I found a piece of glass. I do not know where that's from. Something broke. Good thing my cat didn't step on it. Done. This is best we can do today. We have to wait until it starts drying up, so the rain will clean that off, and whatever it don't, wow. That was a medical copter. So whatever the rain doesn't clean off, I'll come back out when it's nice out, weather starts breaking, and then I can finish that. At least I got some of that cleaned up. Oh my goodness, all these trees. All right, let's see what else we can do. All right, you guys, I think that's it for today as far as getting the outside cleaned up. At least I got that cleaned up. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow leaves back, but it is what it is if it does. And for now, it's good. And then this is the best I could do with this, considering that a lot of the leaves are just piled up and I couldn't get the blower in there. Plus, at least I thinned the leaves out. They're not as thick. So maybe when we do get some warm weather and some sunshine, the plants will get some sunshine to them. This is blooming, so this becomes really huge. We had to cut it down last year. I don't even remember what half these plants are, except that's a rose bush. I got rid of this rug. It's actually just over there until I can get it to, I'll probably burn it. I don't know. A lot of the leaves are in her fence area, so we'll have to get those out because we have hostas over there. They come through anything. Some of the leaves I just blew to this fence here, and they're in there. I have a little tiny pond in there, and I told my husband if he doesn't take care of it this year, because he didn't take care of it last year, then we're going to fill it in. So we'll see what happens with that. I have all these leaves against the fence, and then I have all these leaves against the garage, the back of the garage. And then this is the burn pile. It looks way bigger than what it is because of all the leaves around it, but it is quite large. We burn everything on here that's burnable, except for our garbage, of course. You know, we have a lot of wooden things there. And then we have, this is from the tree that he took down last year. And then we have blooming bush or tree over there. And then we have one here. The problem is our weather is so goofy. These trees don't know whether to get leaves on them or not. They don't know what to do. They're confused. Because one minute it's warm, and then the next day it's cold and snowy. And, you know, it's just, fortunately we don't have the pollen that everybody else is dealing with, but on the other hand, you know, they have nice weather where our trees are just confused, as well as we are. But here's the tree that he took down. It was huge, and you could see it was rotted up the middle. So I'm sure we have some sort of animals living in there. And to be honest with you, we have a huge yard. It's about 1.5 acres. It goes up to the field right there. So we're almost to the edge of it, as you can see. And we really don't do a whole lot out here because we leave this for the animals, for the bunnies and the squirrels and whatever else wants to live out here. So we don't, in the summer you'll probably see us not mow it a whole lot. And sometimes I'll just like mow a path along there, so in case we want to take the dog for a walk back here or something. But for the most part, we don't do a whole lot with it because we just like it to grow up and, you know, let the animals let nature kind of have its time. You know what I mean? Because most of the things that we do are up towards that way. So this is just kind of wasted space. Even when I was young, and if you didn't know, this was my childhood home. I grew up here. And after my parents passed away, I inherited it. So my dad trusted me to take care of it. But even when I was young, we didn't do a whole lot in this backyard either. And I remember my dad used to have a garden all the way back here. Basically where you see those tires right now. My husband threw those out there a long time ago. And, but as far as the rest of the land goes, we really didn't do anything. Now, he always kept it manicured because he was like that. He was always on his tractor mowing. And, but for the most part, see, this was a big tree. He's got a lot to clean up back here. And it will get done eventually, but like I said, I'm not in no hurry because it's all the way back here. I'm sure there's animals living in there. And we just like to share our property with nature. And it doesn't bother anybody. You know, it's not like there's junk laying around here or anything except for the tires. And, you know, it doesn't bother anybody. Here's the field. We're at the field. And they usually plant corn or beans in here. But when our neighbors were living there, they're moving out. They would mow back here because I think they thought this was their property, but it wasn't. And so I'm like, well, if they want to mow it and take care of it, that's fine. You know, as long as they're not doing anything illegal back here. But they're in the process of moving out. Everybody owns their own property here. We are in a mobile home neighborhood, but I don't ever call it a park because everyone owns their own property. And I'm not even going to show you the neighbors because it's just kind of embarrassing and disgusting. So, but they are in the process of getting it cleaned up. But yeah, as you can see, it's a lot of property. It's a lot to take care of. And we will end up mowing this. We will keep up with that. But just that little area over there is usually where we don't mow. We just like to let it grow up for the animals. Then when it gets too high up, then we'll come back here and mow it. But I'm glad these neighbors are moving out. They were our biggest problem. And I think everybody has a neighbor like that. And all their junk with all these winds have been blowing into our yard. We have a ton of sticks down from, see that? There's a stick. Sticks over there from all the winds and everything. But, and then this needs cleaned out. I have a bike there because I thought it was cute at the time. You know, that's when everybody was decorating with bikes and stuff. I actually have two. And they both need to go because I'm over that. But that all needs cleaned out because we have a lot of flowers in there. And at least the leaves, you know, they kind of kept them, the flowers, you know, protected over the winter. So, but these are all flowers. This barn is definitely falling apart, but still holding up. It is a mess. That is not very high on our to-do list. It actually does not leak, so, and it's still standing. And then over here, these are hostas. And then, see, there's garbage. The wind has blown garbage everywhere, all over the yard. This here is an apple tree. Ooh. That's where our well was, because we had that cleaned out, or septic, I mean. We had that cleaned out, and that is dangerous, because I almost went down that hole. And then, this here is like a memory garden that I put together when my parents passed. And I just wanted something for them. So we've kind of added to it over the years, more flowers and stuff since my husband's parents passed. So I've been trying to you know, get this all straightened up. But it says, if tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I'd walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. So, yeah, I need to hurry up because I'm running out of battery. But there's not much more to see. We have daffodils over here popping up. And then over here is a pump house. My dad built this when I was young because our well used to be located here. And now it's somewhere else. I can't remember where. But when the well was right here, we had really good water. And now our water is really crappy. So, but we get a lot of flowers around this. So, yep, there we go, guys. That is pretty much a tour of my yard. I hope you enjoyed this. And it is a lot of work, but very thankful that we have it. That we can call it ours. And I'm just very happy that I got that cleaned up. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Go this way. And I will see you next time. Bye.